I would say their relationship is closer to student and teacher, role model and hopeful fan, or
oh god, Willie Mack was groomed by destiny. Here we go.
reaching out for comment can be helpful sometimes. However, it is not the ultimate journalistic tool.
If I was gonna label one thing the ultimate journalistic tool, I would be like, yeah, reaching out to people that are involved in the story.
There's Willie Mack jokingly giving Destiny practical advice on how to get out of this.
I don't know if this glitch poser's guy intentionally took that out of context, but it seems a little deceptive to me.
If Willie Mack doesn't answer these questions, and I'm betting he won't,
I would not answer these questions either. If the person's content is them having some kind of cringe VTube model or just nothing at all, you do not take those people seriously. Nobody else does. They don't take themselves seriously enough to actually show their face. You shouldn't be talking to those people. All right, guys, let's get this party started. Yeah, I guess Glitch Poachers released this video yesterday. We've seen a couple of their videos. They're a little interesting. They did what was the last thing we actually watched from them? Oh, it's been a long time. Anyway, they're fine, I guess, from what I remember. I've seen a couple of their videos, they're fine. But this one is called Willie Mack, PR for a Predator. It's just insane. I don't know what that is. This is referencing a video from a while ago. We watched it. I guess in the video, Willie Mack was like a little charitable to Destiny, I guess, from what I remember. You know, with the whole Destiny thing that came out, I feel like a lot of people had like a lot of positive, you know, like respect for him, and then it just kind of got shattered, and some people took longer than others to, I don't know, change their mind. Also, this guy's not a predator. Just so you guys know, Destiny, I would really recommend you watch the Ryan Beard video about Destiny, but Destiny is somebody who advocates for left-leaning shit. We haven't talked about him in like a while. I do not like this person anymore. And it came out that he was talking to girls, getting pictures from them, and then in some instances sending those pictures non-consensually to other girls to hit on them.
Yeah, of course.
And it's just gross, you know, for somebody like this. And it's not even the first time. This guy goes around, he likes to use like slurs. He's done some like other disgusting things. His whole Ryan Beard video hammers it out. I just don't think that he's somebody worth engaging with or following. He doesn't care about what he talks about. I think he just wants to be right at this. He's gross. So that's it, man. So I just don't have any respect for him anymore. I don't think I could ever engage with him anymore, like watch him or anything. It's just not for me. But apparently Willie Mack is running PR for a Predator. I don't know how that how he thinks that. So let's just go, dude. Let's just go.
About 2 months ago, the commentary YouTuber Willie Mack made a video on Destiny's recent crimes.
Has it really been 2 months? Oh, I guess it has been 2 months. This is a month. February 15th. Oh, it is 2 months. Why does it say 1 month? Because, okay, whatever.
Destiny is a political streamer who likes to lure women with the promise of clout in order to record them during the act without their consent, which
I don't know if I don't know if that's true.
She then sends to 19-year-old fans.
I'm not sure he lures them in. It does seem like he has a pattern of talking to some unstable women for his content, and then once the relationship ends, he ends up making content out of talking about the relationship ending. That's one thing I'll say, but I don't know if he lures women in intentionally. Maybe he does, but that seems to be quite loaded.
Fans without consent. It's an even more predatory version of a casting couch, and that only scratches the surface as to how pathetic Epstein is.
I don't know. Is this sensationalized? Like, I feel like this might be a little sensationalized here.
Legal action is currently being taken against him. Willie
That's good. I hope that she wins.
Mack has been associating with Destiny for quite some time.
Yeah, sure. A lot of people have been.
Over a year.
Ew, look at this. There you go, guys. Here we go. Wow. So sensual.
Here at least.
Incredible. What a beautiful... We just got to get it in there. What a beautiful picture. Nicholas. Got to signal boost that one out there, you know what I'm saying?
He tries to claim in his video that they weren't friends.
Destiny and I were not friends. However, I have a lot of respect for him.
But they certainly were friendly, although...
Well, I feel like you're trying to catch him in a lie when he's like, we weren't friends, but I had a lot of respect for him. It's not like he's shying away from their relationship. Maybe he just didn't consider them friends. But he said he had a lot of respect for him, so I don't... Okay.
I would say their relationship is closer to student and teacher, role model and hopeful fan, or...
Oh, God. Oh, no. Willie Mack was groomed by destiny. Here we go.
Business associates, then friendship. Destiny acts as Willie's mentor in many of their public interactions.
I suppose.
Because the problem is that I have is exactly what happened in our debate where
I'm now having to explain every detail. His audience doesn't understand any context of where I'm coming from. We're getting caught up in the weeds of the argument because he's like, or the language of the argument.
Yeah, this is there's a French philosopher. There's a term I borrowed from him called simulacrum.
Yeah, so I got some questions about.
Yeah, isn't that post Hassan debate where he made a video about Hassan? Hassan was talking about it, and Willie Mack's like, "You need to watch the video first." And Hassan's like, "No, just talk to me," which I think normally can be fine. Like if Willie Mack made a video about me, not that he would, I'm a nobody, but let's say he made one about me, I could talk to him and be like, okay, you brought up this point, like let's talk about it. And it would be a conversation, and I would just be like, we'd be chilling. I wouldn't be trying to lie and run defense, you know. But Hassan is somebody who's so deceptive that you kind of need to have him watch your source material first, because he won't be honest in his portrayal. His audience needs to see it before the debate begins. Didn't Willie's video out Destiny's BS similarly to Ryan's video? How the hell would it be in a PR in favor of Destiny? I don't think. Well, Ryan Beard's video was a fucking slam dunk, just to be clear. I think Willie Mack's video focused a little bit more on that President Sunday guy being gross. He took like a little bit of a different angle, because even the people that were claiming to be on like Pixie's, right? Her name's Pixie, her side, were very clearly just trying to use her situation for clout, and they made it go public because of them. She didn't want it to go public at that point, but they kind of pushed her hand there.
The debate you had with the definition guy. So what is the point of arguing over the definition?
Oh, how much time you got?
The nature of their relationship seems much closer than Willie leads on. He reached out to Destiny for comment on his crimes, and even though Destiny initially said he couldn't speak on
I think we should say alleged crimes is probably better, but sure,
these matters due to the lawsuits, he still wound up giving Willie some statements to use in his video.
Yeah, and then he put the statements in. Yeah.
He goes on to say that people named Lav and Kelly Jean have been distributing his nudes, revenge in the literal truest sense. How many crazy women are part of this guy's life?
They are all crazy. That's one of the things that people gave Willie shit for, but these women are crazy. That's the thing. And I don't know if Destiny seeks out crazy women, or if they just happen to gravitate towards him because that's what he's attracted to or something. In the same way where like social workers gravitate towards me. But they are crazy, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why he gets away with the behavior. He interacts with crazy women, and they go crazy, and even though he did something to trigger them to be crazy, he goes, look, they're crazy, and his audience goes, oh, see, they're right. That's what it is. That's what I think. Whether it's intentionally going after them or not, that's what this seems to be the cycle.
At what point can I victim blame him?
They had an off-the-record phone call together as well.
We did speak in the off-the-record voice call. It was not recorded.
And now, apparently, Willie Mack has been holding on to an interview with Destiny meant for the public for over a month.
Yeah, maybe he's not going to put it out.
Then I think I'm going to put out the Destiny interview later this week. It's worth having out there. And then he says he's been sitting on the interview for 3 weeks.
That was like a month ago.
This was a few weeks ago. In Willie's most recent video, he teases his follow-up video on Destiny, which will probably include pieces of the interview.
I'm still working on my Destiny Part 2 video where I interview a lot of people, including him in it. We discussed—
Oh, it makes sense why it would take so long to come out, because he got a lot of shit from that weird little like artwork dancing guy, Quayman, right? Or Cuman. So anyway, I feel like other people have said it. I don't care. It doesn't matter. And so he probably delayed the release of it because a bunch of people gave him, like, in my opinion, on like, disproportionate amounts of shit. But he's probably just trying to be careful moving forward. So
discussed a lot of allegations.
People accusing you of doxing, right? Because you're referring to Kiwi Farms. Ryan did this with Anna. And then J-Stock is doing this. Queeman is sort of doing this where there's DMs about you saying like, hey, I wish this person, has this person been doxed yet?
Yeah, the suggestion of it so people will maybe go after them.
Yeah, for Anna, that's bullshit. For Jessica and Queeman, I'd kill him if I could. I'd choke their fucking house and do it. But not for Anna, no.
That was not an effort to dox her, is what you're saying.
Yeah, no. What?
Well, it sounds like maybe maybe that's true, or maybe Destiny just thinks that he can say that about Queeman because he's just an online troll guy. But I don't know.
Like, why would I even want to do that? Like, what am I, once I kill her? Or what? Like, that's fucking...
I've only heard bad things about that guy. He's the one defending IMAL. Because he really defend IMAL. Like, what a weirdo.
I do want somebody to kill Jistical, though, or Lav, or Mr. Girl, or Queeman. Those people can all die.
So, Willie Mack is
wow, incredible. Okay.
Choosing to platform a violent psychopathic criminal who wants other creators doxxed and murdered and is laughing about it on Twitter. These two are so unlikable, referring to the people Destiny doxed and wants dead, even—
Well, they are unlikable because they were giving him ridiculous amounts of unnecessary shit.
when they're being threatened with their docs. Notice how he doesn't mention the death threats. I can't help but notice how big off losers they are. Lol, 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 lol. Willie, where'd that supposed journalistic integrity and professionalism go?
I don't know. I feel like Willie is in that. That's what I mean. That's a criticism, but I just feel like maybe you could apply. He does hold himself to a decent standard. I mean, as you're giving him like shit for talking to Destiny and getting an interview of Destiny, he's kind of just trying to engage in some level of journalistic integrity. He just also is, in my opinion, he should probably reserve the Twitter posting, you know, as well. A little bit, but it's such a minor criticism. I mean, that's the thing. He's somebody that wants to have like integrity inside of like the commentary sphere, which is a little toxic. But it's, I mean, overall, yeah, I think he has some decent integrity, though.
I want to preface this video by stating that I was the only one that reached out to everyone involved in this story.
What the fuck is? I went to this Queeman guy's page. It's just like Destiny. What the fuck's happening? Child rape? What the fuck is this? Oh my god. Destiny, trans Destiny. Wait, what is all these people? The Bo Blacks, gotta throw them in there. Mudahar, a Destiny orbiter, fucking, I don't know what the hell that thing is. Okay. Crazy. Prom night AIDS baby? What the fuck is, what is this? Yeah, I think it's like the new thing right now to kind of hate Willie Mack for like minor mistakes that he's made. But I love Willie, so I would never. I don't give a fuck.
And that the victims weren't just used by Destiny, but by YouTubers trying to frame themselves as heroes. I pride myself on doing a good job, and this video is finally up to those standards.
Because to me, it looks like you have no clue what you're talking about. Reaching out for comment can be helpful sometimes. However, it is not the ultimate journalistic tool, especially when we're talking about a guy with the nickname Epsteiny.
I'm not understanding. You're saying he shouldn't have reached out to the person, and that's... Wait, I'm sorry, I have to re-listen to that.
About. Reaching out for comment can be helpful sometimes. However, it is not the ultimate journalistic tool, especially when we're...
I feel like if I was going to label one thing the ultimate journalistic tool, I would be like, yeah, reaching out to people that are involved in the story. What do you mean? I feel like that doesn't even make any fucking sense to me. What are you talking about? This is like the #1 journalistic tool is reaching out to the people that are involved in the story. What the fuck is this guy talking about?
Talking about a guy with the nickname Epsteiny. You shouldn't reach out to Destiny for interview on his crimes for the same reason you shouldn't platform and befriend someone like Mr. Girl.
I feel like those are two different things. Those are two very different things. There's a difference between reaching out to somebody for a comment versus being friends with a rapist. Alleged, right? These might be two different things. I don't know, guys. These might be two different things. I don't know. Chat, are these two different things? Might be two different things.
It doesn't really matter if you speak out against touching kids and violence if you befriend and platform people who advocate for such things. You are giving them an opportunity to downplay and normalize their behavior, maybe even make it look cool. Willie Mack's tweet is the perfect
I'm not understanding.
example of this tactic working. He's
not really. These guys overly criticized Willie Mack in a video, and that's why he doesn't like these guys. Like, I know the lore here. So it makes perfect sense. He's not tweeting against them in defense of Destiny. He's tweeting against them because they're fucking annoying. Like, from what I remember, I don't know if the girl's name is Sherry, but there was a girl that apparently Destiny had a negative interaction with, and Willie Mack tried to reach out to her. I think she just said, go look at everything that's online. Kind of a bad move, because, you know, you got your opportunity to speak against Destiny. And so Willie Mack just kind of like, okay, like, what is he supposed to, like, he kind of just made his video. There's only so much you could do. There's only so much you can find. Why didn't you just direct it to them? She's like, everything's online. It's like, okay, well, then you're not going to direct me to something. Then go fuck yourself. And then this guy wanted Willie Mack to reach out to him because apparently he's the keeper of her knowledge. And it's like, who the fuck who are you? Who knows that? Who even fucking knows that? It's just crazy. Is it Sherry? Yeah, it's just like the expectations are unrealistic.
He's downplaying Destiny's desperate and violent rhetoric and turning the spotlight on the people who were threatened, because in Willie's mind,
not really.
And Destiny won the popularity contest.
What? What are you talking about? There was a whole conversation that Willie had with these people.
And yes, I consider laughing at the people who got threatened on Twitter for reacting to getting threatened as downplaying Destiny's threats. This is why Destiny wants to be in Willie Mack's video at all, so he can make his predatory, threatening, and manipulative behavior seem more excusable, more silly, and more charming. Willie Mack is doing PR for a predator.
It's also possible that Willie Mack is handling himself in a way that would make Destiny feel comfortable enough to talk to him. You know, if Willie's trying to be a little more objective to get the story, like maybe that's the standard he wants to set, especially as he gets older.
Whether he realizes it or not. Reaching out to media manipulators to allow them to provide input on the coverage of their own crimes is really dumb, unless
What?
you're trying to do them a favor. Or
I just feel like you'd want to get their statement. I don't understand.
Or the other exception would be if Willie Mack turned on Destiny, going full snake mode, using
What the fuck is, what is happening here?
his second Destiny video to make a complete fool out of him. I'm just not expecting that. I'm expecting another video where Destiny is still somehow billed as being a cut above the rest.
He's the only major creator in the political space that I have covered that actually looks stuff up, reads first-hand information, and directly engages with his critics. That may seem like a low bar, but it's rare.
But hey, I
Sure. Is that what he said in the video? Okay.
could be wrong. I hope
I mean, those things are true. I just feel like for me, it's just too much knowing that Destiny doesn't care about what he has to. Knowing that Destiny doesn't care about what he's actually advocating for is just enough for me. I don't particularly care for him. I don't think he's a particularly good person. So he does research things and he's right, but I don't think he cares about what he's talking about. And I just don't like that lack of genuinity. I also think he's disgusting.
I'm wrong, but anything else is just Willie Mack putting out a press release for Destiny. To be fair, in the clip that Willie shared, Queeman, one of the people who Destiny threatened, said that the person who tweeted out that clip, Yeet, needs to be stomped into the dirt.
Right, it needs to be like absolutely kicked into the dirt.
I think he just hates Hassan. But
This
I
guy
mean,
needs
What the fuck? What are you guys doing? Just show your face.
to
yeah,
be
if you
stomped into the dirt. This guy
if you
is
want to say that,
filth.
While that doesn't sound great, it's a little different than a psychopathic criminal predator who has your docs saying they're going to show up to your house and kill you.
It might not be proportionate.
Oh, I did troll the shit out of the DDoS kid. That's a guy, that's one of the people, like, legitimately, like, you have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how close I was to getting people together to go down to his house and kill him and his family.
Because you better fucking believe I had to fucking choke her out a few fucking times.
Oh my god, I was so close to this
These are all clips from Ryan Beard's video, by the way, if you want to go check those out.
address. I had fucking streets map
I remember there's additional context to this. I don't remember the specifics. I addressed it in my reaction to Ryan Beard, if you want to check that out.
out and fucking you had no fucking idea. That's when I first started getting an interest in, like, owning a weapon. I got a permit to own a gun and everything.
All the red pill people that I fight against, that I say, like, you shouldn't do this, is how you build a healthy relationship, all of those things are things that I do, unironically, in the worst way.
These things
That's probably true.
are not the same at all. For the rest of this video, I'm going to go through a few other clips and then start asking Willie some pointed questions. Knowing the commentary community, they will never be answered.
When I talked to him, it was just sort of
I feel like the commentary community there's too many questions. I feel like they engage with people like this too often.
like, bro, you got to take your lumps on this. Like, you fucked up, you're wrong. I don't think anyone's ever lost their career from getting hacked and nudes leaking. So he'll be fine. I don't see why this would.
What?
The commentary community, they will never be answered.
When I talked to him, it was just sort of like, bro, you got to take your lumps on this. Like, you fucked up, you're wrong. I don't think anyone's ever lost their career from getting hacked and nudes leaking. So he'll be fine. I don't see why this would
But
end
why
his
would it be
career.
getting hacked? It's distributing his close friends' nudes. Don't call it that. I know you're not.
Ooh, WD Oreo, dude. Holy fuck. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. When it happened, if Destiny came out and was like, listen, this happened a while ago. I think it was disgusting. I never should have did it, blah, 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 blah. I could have been potentially more charitable to him. Though I feel like this is like the 10th time something fucking, like this has happened. Excuse. Like, I just feel like he's always doing something. That's just like, why are you doing that? But he didn't. Like, he came out more aggressive. I don't know, man. I'm just tired of running defense for this fucking guy. Like, I'm tired of being charitable to Destiny. I'm tired of, like, his ability to debate well being a justifier for why he should be able to, like, do disgusting shit and not hold himself accountable for it.
Not trying to minimize it, but he literally backstabbed his friend whilst he's going on Red Pill podcast telling all these other people that they're shit to women or whatever.
Ooh.
This guy
totally
has
right.
absolutely zero fucking principles. He gives relationship advice constantly. Meanwhile, look at his relationship with Melina. I'm sure over the next course of the year we'll learn more about that.
You're totally right, but I have never seen someone's career end over some shit like this.
It's crazy when fucking Nicholas Diorio is the voice of reason. Mr. Lips.
There's Willie Mack downplaying Destiny's crimes who gets interrupted by Nicholas Diorio.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could consider that downplaying. I feel like it's more of like a potential system shock where, maybe Willie Mack liked Destiny a lot and he's kind of that perspective is slowly being shattered. I mean, I like Willie Mack. I'm going to be more charitable to him. Is slowly being shattered. you know? I would consider it more than that. I guess we'll see. But I also think part of it too is he's like, well, I don't think anybody's ever really been canceled for this. I think that's maybe part of that's one of the points that he's trying to make.
Commentary's top janitor. The Oreo downplays Willie's downplaying of Destiny's crimes, then makes sure that optically they're shitting on Destiny hard enough.
We have the exact same point, but my whole thing is he should take the Hassan playbook where it's like right now, yeah, I'm fucked, I did this bad thing. And then in like 3 months, it turns into like, yeah, I shared some nudes I shouldn't have. And then in like 3 more months, it turns into like, remember when I got hacked and those nudes leaked? And then in like 3 more months, it turns into like, man, last year was just crazy. I can't believe
conversation is this.
I was targeted.
Well,
I
it's
think you should
literally
do the
been
full
3
Hassan.
fucking years. Can you guys get some new material?
Yeah. The full Hassan where you just rewrite it.
There's Willie Mack jokingly giving Destiny practical advice on how to get out of this.
Is that actually practical advice? Or is that just like, hey, this is probably what's going to happen? We're just going to listen to a little bit of this.
These guys are like fucking Andrew Tate, right? If he did that, would anybody care? It'd just add on to
It's shocking that like Destiny's more than Ethan Ralph of the left.
The thing I'll say is the thing about all those guys, like even okay, so take like 50 Cent or Snoop Dogg, they're rappers, right? When you listen to a Snoop Dogg song, are you really thinking that much about who he is as a person? I would say no, because that is like you can separate the art from the artist type thing.
Also, are we just ignoring Snoop Dogg fucking shot and killed somebody?
Yeah, dude, Tom, you're way out of line here, buddy.
Snoop Dogg shot and killed somebody. So that's like the worst thing he's done.
You know, buddy, most of his lyrics are on like banging and fucking crippin' and fucking. We talk about his art is his lifestyle, bro.
Snoop Dogg raps about.
Snoop Dogg's a Christian, dude. He goes to fucking church.
I'm sorry.
He's in phase.
He's in phase.
Snoop Dogg.
Well, I also feel like people, I don't know much about Snoop Dogg, but usually it's like when it's like a gang versus another gang, it's just kind of different. Nobody cares as long as they keep it to themselves. Like same thing when they had like Italian mobsters and shit, you know?
Charged with first-degree murder in '93, but it was actually his bodyguard. Okay,
bro, I grew up.
My point. You guys interrupted my point. My point still stands, and the point is that people don't really have to give a shit or care or confront about Snoop Dogg as a person. Okay, yes, he raps about it, but they don't really give a fuck. Okay, like the average person listening to a Snoop Dogg song, he's like, we smoking under weed. Yeah, nobody gives a fuck. Okay, nobody cares. Destiny, you're looking at his face all day, every day, listening to him talk about these moral positions, right? Snoop Dogg has never hidden the fact that he is a gangster, he's a scumbag. Destiny is somebody who claims to have various moral positions on various subjects, and it turns out that he is not a person to speak from that position at all.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
we have the same point.
We have the exact same point, but my whole thing is he should take the Hassan playbook where it's like right now, yeah, I'm fucked, I did this bad thing, and then in like 3
Wait, he's referencing somebody else.
months it turns into
Same point.
we have the exact same point, but my whole thing is he should take the Hassan playbook where it's like right now, yeah, I'm fucked, I did this bad
This is my whole thing, my bad.
thing, and then in like 3 months it turns into like, yeah, I shared some nudes I shouldn't have, and then in like 3 more months it turns into like, remember when I got hacked and those nudes leaked, and then in like 3 more months it turns into like, man, last year was just crazy, I can't believe I was targeted.
Oh, it's literally been 3 fucking years. Can you guys get some new material?
Yeah. The full Hassan where you just rewrite it over and over.
This is the number one argument. All right, did you guys watch the Vosh segment that Ethan did right before he dropped the content nuke?
No.
So Ethan did like a segment on Markiplier using a fake voice because Markiplier's got like better voice training than Jalen, right? And he was like being performatively angry that he got muted on Twitter by Markiplier. All the snarkers
With the Ethan Ralph, I guess they're talking about.
took it as like a full like, oh my god, he's crashing out. But it was just like a funny, stream bit, some shit that me and Augie would do on a stream, right? And Vosh took like exception to it and covered it on his stream. Ethan covers it and goes, wow, Vosh opened his mouth about this. All right, that's fine. Let's hear what the horse fucking pedophile has to say about this. And every time he referred to Vosh for the next 40 minutes, he just called him a horse fucking pedophile. Over and over again, he put like horse fucking pedophile as a graphic under his face that popped up on the screen. And that's every debate that Vosh will ever do. So anytime Destiny gets on a debate, which he does debate people, it's just gonna be like, oh, you're the fucking revenge pornographer. It doesn't matter if you
never talk to the red pill again, Nick.
Never, literally never. He won't be taken
The thing is,
seriously.
I heard that one of the only people that defended him was Myron.
Myron and fucking the redheaded lady Pearl.
No, there were so many rapists on Twitter who were defending him. There were people saying, somebody literally was explaining to me.
This sounds like, oh, was it Ethan Klein? Okay, either way, it doesn't really matter. He just said Ethan Ralph before, so I thought it was Ethan Ralph. It just sounds like, this isn't a positive. It doesn't sound like they're having a positive interpretation of Destiny. It sounds more like they're talking about it from a pragmatic perspective, where Willie Mack's just saying like, yeah, this is what he'll do. Is as time goes on, he will just reframe the narrative. He'll lie himself. He'll basically just lie and just rewrite history over and over again. And then Nicholas Euro's perspective is like, no. When Vosh went after Ethan Klein one time, Ethan was like, okay, let's talk about it. And then he just called him a horse fucking pedophile or whatever. And so they're really just talking about what they think might happen in the future. They're not necessarily saying, they're not saying that Destiny's a good person. Yeah, I don't know if this Glitch Poachers guy intentionally took that out of context, but it seems a little deceptive to me.
Yeah. The full Hassan where you just rewrite it.
There's Willie Mack jokingly giving Destiny practical advice on how to get out of this.
During my
That's not really advice, though. That's just what he thinks is going to happen. Those are two very different things, man. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of disingenuous framing.
the record conversation with Beckett, he asked me a pointed question. When would you associate with Destiny again? If he was part of some drama as a side character and I interviewed him, I would do it then, but I don't think I could just go hang on his podcast anymore. Destiny and I were not friends. However, I have a lot of respect for him. He's the only major creator in the political space that I have covered that actually looks stuff up, reads first-hand information, and directly engages with his critics. That may seem like a low bar, but it's rare. He's somebody that has always demanded accountability from others, but right now when he's objectively in the wrong, he's not taking any of it.
Now this clip deserves a bit more breaking down. Willie Mack gives...
Not really. I mean, I think that when I first saw that, I will say that it felt a little too charitable to Destiny, but from everything else I've seen, like, it seems like a huge pearl clutch to make an entire fucking video whinging about it, especially when some of it seems like it's out of context.
Some vague criteria for when he'll associate with Destiny again. Well, Willie Mack set up an interview with Destiny shortly afterwards, an interview about his ongoing court cases. Something that probably takes a lot of coordination considering that Destiny is being sued.
He doesn't want to comment farther until he's past litigation. He clarifies, I'm aware that these answers are super unsatisfying, and it sucks it looks super guilty for me to respond this way. And even this might be saying too much, but any statement that I make could become part of a record for any court case, for any number of things that are foreseen and unforeseen to me right now. And there's a possibility that I say something that feels true, but ends up not being true in the future. He then gives an example on how seemingly throwaway comments can lead to big consequences in court. He's right, because honestly, what is he supposed to do? Incriminate himself? He's going to let the legal process play out.
And considering the way Willie Mack laughed at the people who Destiny was threatening, something tells me that Willie Mack never had any intentions to stop talking to his e-daddy. Also in this clip, Willie Mack says that he has a lot of respect for Destiny because he looks stuff up and engages with his critics, thus clearing a low bar. I know.
Yeah, I mean, those things are true. I just don't think he cares about anything he talks about, so it's kind of over for me.
Media standards are low in general, but I suppose that's enough to earn Willie's respect. Be a predator who knows how to use a search engine. Given Willie Mack's low standard.
I don't know, man. I don't think I would consider Destiny a predator. I just think he's a bad dad, you know? I don't know. I just don't think he's a good person, though.
And continued association with Destiny, it's important for his audience and the rest of YouTube to get some
Well, he's more than just a bad dad. He's a bad person, but you know what I mean.
transparency on this. We deserve to know just how much influence Epstein has had on people like Willie Mack and Nicholas DiOrio. It's time for some questions. Since Willie Mack is still associating with Destiny, there's no need to ask for clarification on that. So let's start here. 1. How much and what kind of input did Destiny have on Willie Mack's video on Destiny? Has Destiny had input on Willie Mack's other videos? 2. In the initial video, were there parts of the conversation between Destiny and Willie that were left out in an attempt to hide Destiny's influence on the video?
What?
Particularly in regards to President Sunday and Beckett. 3. Has Willie Mack ever received any funding or payment from Destiny, Dan Saltman, or anyone else associated with OmniLiberal Studios? That's Destiny's media company. 4. Since Nicholas DiOrio has given Dan Saltman optical advice.
But I spoke to him and I'm like, listen, the problem with you and Erudite is you guys knew for months, so you've come to terms with this and you've engaged with it. That's not what the public wants to hear a day after they find out. When you start the initial statement being like, guys, rehabilitation is the answer, before anybody gets their licks in, people are gonna fucking hate you.
And considering some of the other behind-the-scenes conversations that the commentary community has had with Dan Saltman regarding his lawfare against Twitch, among other details alluding to collusion,
This feels so fucking gay. I don't... So fucking gay. Like, dude, this is such a cringe pearl-clutching video. I don't... Okay, whatever. I don't know, man. Like, we're having fucking meltdowns about everything. Everything is just such a problem to this guy. This is so cringe, man. Oh my god. Jesus. These people can't say a word without you having a fucking meltdown about it. Yeah, it's post-optical advice. Like, oh, it's fine. Sure, like whatever. It's like it's just advice on like, hey, you can't do this. You've had and it kind of makes sense. Like what he's saying is, you know about this for a while, so for you, you've digested it and then you've worked through it, and you think he could do like reform, which this is ridiculous. I mean, Destiny doesn't give a fuck about what he's doing. I don't think so. So there's no reform to be had. They're just trying to like save their fucking job. And like, yeah, but people just heard about it. They're fucking pissed. They're reeling from it. And you coming out with like that kind of a take is going to, you need to give people their time to just process this information, Okay.
Can Willie Mack speak to the collusion between the commentary community, Ethan Klein, Destiny, Dan Saltman, and OmniLiberal Studios?
What? The collusion? What are you talking about?
5. How much has the commentary community, people like Nicholas Diorio, talked about avoiding backlash from Destiny's community, or being fearful of Destiny's community, or...
How much has the commentary community, people like Nicholas Diorio, talked about avoiding backlash from Destiny's community? What? There's no way that this guy's not terminally online. I've seen just fucking research papers worth of criticisms from Nicholas Diorio onto Destiny, to the point where Destiny's like, you're fucking obsessed with me. I don't think that you in any proper conscience could ever make that argument. Ever. Are you saying, am I reading this right? It sounds like you're saying, are people like Nicholas Diorio afraid of community backlash? Just a dumb video if you think that. What? Okay.
Or something along those lines. Can Willie elaborate on that hidden influence of fear within his community?
Look what happened with Chud Logic and Lauren Southern. He had Melina coming to him and telling him these things directly. And he was put in a position where he can either eat shit and be hated by that community and lose a huge percentage of his audience, to the point where I had to pick up the other half of the slack and like help him out, right? To keep him afloat. Or he could just leak those messages and be justified immediately, and it would start like a huge conflict. And I guess he did the right thing by loyalty.
It's no idea what the fuck's happening, what they're talking about.
It's time that we get an understanding of just how much coordination, fear, and middle school shenanigans go into making it seem like someone like Willie Mack is a journalist, like Destiny is a real political pundit, like
I mean, you showed him on Piers Morgan, so at this point, based on whatever today's standards is, he is some kind of a real political pundit. So.
Diorio is a media expert. They're not.
Honestly, I think that I understand.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of people on the internet, and now you don't need to have any formal you don't need any formal training to do this. But, you know, everything aside, Destiny is on Piers Morgan. You know, he's still a scumbag piece of shit, but he's still on Piers Morgan, so he is a political pundit.
Understand that we have to keep our jobs, and we have to make sure that our jobs are important by telling people how important they are.
We're all drama mongers and attention thieves, but now we're talking about a criminal who uses their platform to lure in their victims.
I just don't know if that's true. I feel like that he doesn't use his platform to lure in his victims. Maybe he does. I don't know. Okay.
Talking about a commentary YouTuber who is friendly enough with them to coordinate and secure an interview about their crimes before the lawsuit is over. It's time we know who's in bed with who. If Willie Mack
it would be who's in bed with whom.
Doesn't answer these questions, and I'm betting he won't, then I would advise everyone to disregard his coverage of death.
I would not answer these questions either. This is probably my biggest criticism of Willie Mack, is he cares too much about what you weird fuckers think. This is just such a terminally online list of questions. And one of the things Willie Mack has to do is stop talking about and to people like you. The same thing with those other people where you had this whole conversation. He gave the light of day to like some fucking nobodies that will never matter to anybody. And it's like, you need to hold yourself to a higher standard, Willie. You need to start only interacting with people who matter or have the potential to matter, even if it's in like small terminally online communities. But most of these people are just fucking kids afraid of showing their face. My biggest rule will be, if you're not willing to show your face, Willie, you should not be talking to that person. If the person's content is them having some kind of cringe-ass VTube model dancing while smoking a cigarette, or just nothing at all, you should not be talking. You do not take those people seriously. Nobody else does. They don't take themselves seriously enough to actually show their face. You shouldn't be talking to those people. It's a literal waste of time. That's just my opinion.
Destiny. He is too close to him to be reliable. This is not the time for Keemstar-esque chicanery. I guess we'll find out how much tact Willie has when he drops his video. And just to be clear, I'm not trying to discourage Willie Mack from making his follow-up video or releasing the interview. While I think Destiny is going to do whatever he can to control the narrative and public perception, and I don't think Willie is all too aware of how prone to Destiny's influence he is, if Willie interviewed
he really is going with the fucking Willie Mack grooming narrative. That's crazy.
Him about his crimes, then the public should see that interview.
Papa God, will you embrace the Hassan No Free Cloud policy? I can't do it, dude. Not yet. If I was big enough to, I would definitely do it, but I'm not. I'm not big enough to do that.
Cut. It's like he said. It's worth having.
I need to get dirty in the ditches, dude.
Out there. Plus, Willie already teased the interview on YouTube and tweeted about it. The
Okay.
public should also know more about the nature of Willie and Destiny's relationship. And if WillyMac wants to make a narrative about Destiny's crimes, he's free to do so. I hope he handles it more responsibly than I'm expecting him to. Shout out to the best subscriber squad in all of YouTube. I hope everyone has a wonderful day.
Is this just like a minute of a sound? What is happening?
Watch him argue.
Oh, okay.
All you need to know about Destiny and like crazy making people is to watch him argue with Merc off the perk about her allegation that he had like tried to make a move one night when they were sleeping together in the same bed. But you have to go watch that and him call her insane repeatedly. Yeah, it's
How are you guys all
sure,
this
more
fucking
characters.
inbred, dude? That's fucking insane. This community is. You guys are. Do you guys?
I don't know
all
why you
Destiny?
I feel like we got thrown into the middle of this conversation. I don't remember the specifics of it, but yeah, I agree with that. They're all inbred.
with Merc off the perk. All you need to know about Destiny and like crazy making people is to watch him argue with Merc off the perk about her allegation that he had like tried to make a move one night when they were sleeping together in the same
Who the fuck is Merc off the perk? Who are these people?
bed. But you have to go watch that and him call her insane repeatedly. Yeah, it's
How are you guys all
sure,
this
more
fucking
characters.
inbred, dude? That's fucking insane. This community is. You guys are. Do you guys?
I don't know
all
why
Destiny?
why are you I don't know why you would take this. Dude, this guy like recorded people against it. Why would you take this line? You're like literally discrediting people who are trying to tell.
No. I
stories
mean,
right now.
inbred. That's not.
You
an
understand?
insult.
You're like
I mean,
the tool of him right now, right? When you do that,
by inbred. I
you
mean,
you didn't mean inbred as an insult.
I mean inbred isn't. You all spawn from this Destiny community. Are all of you guys tied to DGG?
I'm not really sure what happened at the end there, but I'll tell you one thing. If there was actually something else going on right now to talk about, I would not have talked about this. This is fucking so fucking stupid. Loser shit.